Welcome as we continue our study in Colossians 1:18. And he is the head of the body, the assembly, who is the beginning, the firstborn out of the dead, that he be preeminent in all things. So head is kaphali, and it means head. And it's important for several reasons. It can be both metaphorically, as far as maybe an authority, but also physically as the head of a body. And the head does a lot of very important things. Most importantly, it sustains life. It tells your heart to breathe, to beat, your lungs to breathe, uh, and lots of other things that are involved in sustainment of life. It also makes decisions and tells the body what to do, the hand to move, etc. So the head is quite important, and without it, the body dies. The body is soma, and it is a general word for body. That can be a physical body, as like a human body or an animal body, but it's also used of the church as the body of Christ. And then the assembly or the church is ecclesia, and ecclesia is, and as you can see, the LITV actually translates as assembly, but it is commonly translated as church. But it is an assembly, it's a gathering of people. So this can be used of the local church or the global church. Here it is in reference to the global church, and so that is the entirety of the body of Christ. So the body is the church. The beginning we've seen before is arche, and typically we see this in reference to some type of authority or power. But it does, as we've discussed before, it just means beginning. And so we actually get a couple of modern day words from arche now. So archbishop is one of them, for example. Dead is necros, and it means dead, both physically as well as spiritually. It could be either one or both. um, so, firstborn of the dead, that's an interesting phrase. And I didn't look up firstborn because we just saw it, and it's the same as it was previously. So when I saw firstborn of the dead, the first thing I thought was, well, Lazarus. Um, he came out of the dead before he was raised from the dead before Christ was. But the reality is, it's assumed that Lazarus died again. One, two, Christ rose from the dead eternally, and three, Christ Himself says that He is the resurrection. So He's the source of all resurrection. So therefore, He is first in the resurrection. Preeminent in all things. So preeminence is proteo, however you say that. And it's a big word that means first. It's to be first, to hold first place, to be first at anything. In this instance, it's probably saying he's the first in leadership. He's above all. He's first over everything. He's the primary leader. Um, you can interpret that a few different ways, but that's where I think it's going with it. Obviously, it's probably bigger than just leadership, though. We do see in other verses where he is, it says he's first in everything as well. It uses some different language, but it means the same thing. So there are a lot of cross references for this verse, and I'm not going to go through all of them. Probably the best thing for you to do is to go to TSK and look through some of these. First John, John 10, 11, John 10 and John 11, um, Matthew, etc. But again, you can go to TSK and you can look up some of these other verses that cross reference with this verse. But definitely, it's a very important and fundamental verse.